Hey, Kindle. Good evening. Here to get well and record today's Rambam, chapter 17, Hilchos Pesulei, which is stuff that something went wrong. What do we do now? Excuse me. Pray, ask for guidance, whatever it is. So, we're learning Binder Souls God, He pleasure get hasten redemption, and bring Mashiach and for the Rebbe's Malchus. And what do you call a deer? What do you call a blind deer? No idea. Halakha Aleph. Kol Adam Nisan al Mizbach or Hitzon Shanasan Nehematana Rishonia Shamanachuna. Any type of sprinkling that's going on the outer altar where the first sprinkle was a good one. Manasa Matana Shnia Ve'elak Mesheva Shuni Hashem or Mesheva Zamakom or Mesheva Sisman. But the other sprinkles was a bad thought. Hari is a keepar. The atonement is good. V'hutzer carbon, and the carbon works. So the guy got atonement. It was a good carbon. One good one is enough, even if the other ones were bad. Minasin is Rishon and Mekshevas is man v'hislim of Tanos Mekshevas Amakom. Ariz a pigel shematana Rishon Hiker. The first one is the main one. So if he did one sprinkle with a bad thought about time, God forbid, and the other sprinkles with a wrong thought about something else, it's pigel. It's the first sprinkle is the main sprinkle. Whatever is on the first one seems to be the go. I would call it dami nesinam mizbeach hapnimi, but if it's on the inner altar, hoil v'kulim ma'akvim zeh, since it's all one package deal, each one holds back the other. K'mosh v'yarnu imnas anakas mehen shelo kesikna ela hifsid baha mekshava afal pi shenasan kol ashartikana hazevak pasol. If he has one. Here, on the outer altar, the first sprinkle is with a good thought, then it's a good carbon and the guy gets atonement. But here, it seems like by the inner altar, all the sprinkles have to be good thoughts. If one of them is wrong, the whole thing's out. But it's not necessarily piggle. For it to be piggle, it would have to be a wrong thought about time for every presentation. It's a package deal. So you need a complete presentation to make an acceptable carbon, which is 4 quality sprinkles, let's say, if it was 4 sprinkles. But for be piggle, you need 4 bad thought on each sprinkle. Otherwise, you didn't really get the whole thing. It was like not quite enough flour, not quite enough frankincense, or whatever it was like we had yesterday. Halakha Beis. 1 second, please. Hashav Rishon Mekshevas Zman v'Shasik B'Shar. What if he had a bad thought on the first sprinkle and then no thoughts on the other ones? Shanas and Kulin Snigna Chutzman. Or they're all good except for the last one. Hari's a puzzle. That's puzzle. They ain't no piggle. It's not piggle. She has a kulam mekshevas zman. Shari kulam matana dachasein. Because it's all one deal. It has to be, each sprinkle has to have, God forbid, a bad time thought for it to end up being piggle. Halacha Gimel. Tavilas etzba b'dam chatois pneumis mefalegis. Puts his finger in the blood of the sin offering for the inner altar. Ketzad chisha b'shas tavilas etzba b'dam. If it's a sin offering whose blood is going on the inner altar, how does it become piggle? If when he's dipping his finger in the blood, he has the wrong thought. That's what makes it piggle. If it's an inner altar blood sacrifice situation, God forbid it should be piggle. Finger in the blood is a critical time when the bad thought might kick in. Halakha Daled. Hay omer v'zar v'chashav v'shavas zman v'chatoyis v'naisim v'nim v'davar v'naisim. No piggle. If he has the wrong thought while he's standing in the outer courtyard in regards to a sin offering offered in the inner chamber, that's not piggle. But if it was something that's done where he is, then it would be piggle. So seemingly he has to be in the place where the act goes down for it to be a meaningful thought. It has to be at least the possibility that what's going to happen is going to happen here. If he's in the outer courtyard, but he's going to do it in the end, it's like he's not really part of it yet. He has to, so to speak, be in it to mess it up. Here, if he's outer when it's inner when it's outer, it's no go. Or at least, I shouldn't say that. If he's outer when it's inner, it's no good. But if he's outer when he's outer, he could mess it up. God forbid. Good. So outer, inner. Halacha. Hey, Kate said. Hi, Omer Vazar, Amar Reina Shokat Lazos Damal Lamachar, Aina Pigosha Hazab Ifni Vechechel. Just an example of what we said. Halacha Vav, Haya Omer Behechel, Amar Hareni Mazat, Shvuk Shiran Lamachar, Aino Pigel, She Har Hashav Ifnim Davar Nice Bechutz. And if you flip it around, it's the same problem. It doesn't make a problem, so it's a good thing. If he's standing in or thinking the wrong thing about something that's done out, it also doesn't affect it. Who Makshev Lishvok Shiraim and Makar or the Hakter and Mur in the Makar, Hariz a Pigel, Shari, Hashev Behuz Vidar Shanaz and Behuz. He's got to be, when he's having the wrong thought, he's got to be in the place where the service is done, otherwise it's not good. Allah Chazayin, I told him, Aflegas Es Alechem, Alechem Enum, Afargalas Atoda. We learned by the thanks offering that there's a lot of breads that could come with it, and the bread is secondary to the offering. Kate said, Ashokas Atoda, if he pickleizes the offering, then the bread's out. But if he pickleizes the bread, the offering's in. So too with the two sheep for shuas. With those two breads. The breads are secondary to the sheep, so same deal. Again, the bread is secondary, so he messes up the bread's out, but the offering's in. If he messes up with the offering, the bread is also out. Alright, so he needs the minimum measure of a kazayas, and he had an intent to eat half a kazayas of the bread and half a kazayas of the beef. So it made up to a kazayas, but only enough of a kazayas to mess up the bread, but not the beef. It's an interesting law. Alright, very interesting. Halachatas, hamakti shnei bezika levonashim alechem panim v'chashi v'shas aktar shiach alechem panim l'machar har alechem pigul. Comes to the frankincense and the showbread. If while he's offering the frankincense he has a bad thought about the bread, that messes up the bread. Yud hashochet shnei kifsei etzeres v'chashav lechol achas mishtei ahalos ha'machar shteim pigul. The bread is a package deal. If he messes up one bread, he messes up both breads. Second, guys, let's get the flour here. Frankincense and nails the bread, two loaves are together. I guess it works. Alright, I think we're on track. Halacha Yud Aleph, I think. Yeah. Higdash Shnei Vazakim Vahu Makshev Lechal Echam Shnei Asidr in the Marker Shnei Sarim Piu. Still do it when he's offering the frankincense with the showbreads. He has in mind eat one. The showbreads are 2 rows of 6, and if he has in mind eat one of the rows of 6 the wrong time, he messes up both of them. God forbid. Yud Beis. Love Yud Beis. Chaynim Hishav Moshev Zman V'achas Machalos Atoda or V'achas Chalos Mincha Ma'efas Atana Har Yikol Chalos Piu. So too, if it's in regards to a bread that goes with the Thanksgiving Atoda or the breads of the meal offering, if the breads seem to be a complete unit. If he has a wrong thought about one bread, he gets the entire package of breads. So it could have been 40, I think 40 breads by the Toda or of the meal offering too. Halacha Yud Gimel. See what we got. Avlim nivna zagam shtei chalos echos shnei esadarim or achas min chalos atoda ben lifnei zricha ben lachar zricha. But if he just impurifies one of the breads, also chala also v'seder aser v'tar sochel. When it comes to impurity, it's just whichever one he got, and the rest are fine. But when it comes to pickle thought, it gets the whole situation when it comes to bread stuff. Yudda v'chashiv b'vodas echem shnei gvasim shiach v'gazayis mishtei alechem l'machar v'chaynim v'chashiv v'ktar es mishtei v'zagim shiach v'gazayis m'lechem apanim l'machar har alechem pigul pasol v'eno pigul ad shehashiv v'kol hamatir shehu avodas shnei gvasim v'derek shnei v'zakim. If the bad thought instead wasn't about the bread but about the primary sacrifice, and it only fell onto a portion of that primary sacrifice, it only invalidates the bread. It doesn't pickleize the bread. Make sure we got that right. Comes to the 2 sheep. He had a bad thought about one of the breads. He had a bad thought while offering one of the 2 bowls of frankincense. It's possible but not pigul. Has to be a disqualifying intent while performing the full services. Luckily, a dalid. Or should we do that? Halacha tezvav. Shachat echad v'chashav lechol hatzi zayis machalas zulamachar. Shachat sheni v'chashav lechol hatzi zayis machalas shnei lamachar. Harelu mistar from the pigul. Hu adin v'shnei ziganim shnei asadarim. If he had an inappropriate thought while shechting one sheep about a small bit of the bread, and then had another thought shechting the other sheep about enough of a bit of the bread to combine with the first bit to make the full amount, then it is pigul. So too by the frankincense and the challahs. Tez zayin. Chashiv be'echad shnei gavasim v'shevas hazman. V'aser shnei v'shevas nechuna. So aser v'shevas hazman pigul v'shnei kosher. If within the sacrifices themselves he can pigulize one and not the other, even though it's really considered one sacrifice, each animal is significant. They're not a package like the bread. So he could pigulize one sheep but not the other one. And the other one could even be kosher. Not only isn't it pigul, it could still be good. He had an inappropriate thought while involving one sheep, so that's pigul, and the other one he did right, it's good. Yud zayin shachar echad mehen v'chashiv v'shash shchita shachar m'basar shnei lamachar. Shneim kasherin she'ein v'shevas mazel zeh. If while he's involved with sheep A, he has the wrong thought about sheep B, no problem, because he's not involved with sheep B, then it has to be a thing he's involved in. Yud ches shnei kivsei yitzeres ein. The critical moment for the Shavuos breads is when he's shechting the sheep. He shechted them and sprinkled the blood with the wrong name. Lo kiddush alechem, then the bread's not sanctified. Shachtam lishma, zargdam shalishma. But if he did the shechting right and the blood wrong, alechem kodesh, it does sanctify the bread. Ve'eno kodesh, it's bread sanctified, but it's not sanctified. That is what it says. Alright, I don't know what that means. Shachtan shalol lishman afapi shazar lishman yishlachem. It's sanctified, but you can't eat it. It's interesting. Alright, halacha yud tes. Second to last one. Shtei alekom shiyatzin ben shchita l'zricha. What if the bread went into the wrong place between the shechting and the sprinkling? Zargdam crossing Zman, and then he sprinkles the blood with a bad thought about time. If Galish Lechem, it still messes up the breads. Alpha Pishahan Bachutz, even though the bread's in the wrong place, as Richam Olis Yosei, because the sprinkling helps even when it's outside. Alpha Pishahan Bachutz, when they're still outside. It seems like the bread has to be in the right place when the animal's slaughtered, which it was, so then they got holy, I guess. Then they went outside. When they're outside, he's casting the blood with the wrong intent, God forbid. The bread's pigul, even though it's outside, casting blood has an effect on bread that was taken out. Even if it's still out. I would have thought if it was out and came back in, no, but if it's still out, it's still meaningful. Halacha chaf, last law. Although we always keep learning. Keeps the shirt shad lishman. What if he shechted the sheep properly, but he lost the bread? Im zark down lishman, and he sprinkled the blood right. Harele pasulim. The sheep are no good. Zark down shows his man, and if he sprinkles, it's interesting. Zark down shows his man. Akashav lechem. Sprinkles with a bad thought about time. After they lost the bread, Harele elisafim. Ucher lechilu lo ucher. Then it's a question if you can eat the sheep or not. You gotta have the bread around or you lose the sheep to some degree. The bread's totally lost. Lost bread is different than just bread that went outside. Kesef Mishnah says you might think you could eat this meat. It doesn't seem like you could because the bread's lost. And they're peace offerings. Let's offer for another offering you could be eaten. Yeah, the sheep associated with the bread and the bread's lost. So I guess you might have thought they defaulted to be another type of offering. That's why you think that. Okay, anyway. What did we learn today? You did great. Thank you for hanging in there. We saw that the first sprinkle is the main sprinkle by the outer altars. By the inner altars, it's a package deal. He's got to be where he performed the service to have the wrong thought mess it up. the bread is secondary to what it's being offered with. And then to pickleize one bread pickleizes them all, but to impurify one bread does not impurify them all. And when it comes to the sacrifice, he's got to have a bad thought to mess up the... If the bad thought is about the breads while he's doing the sacrifice, it has to be about the whole sacrifice. But if the bad thought's about the sacrifice while he's doing the sacrifice, even if it's a package sacrifice, he could mess up some and keep some. It has to be about the thing he's working on, not even about its friend, its buddy. Shechting is the main time that hooks on the bread. Don't lose the bread. Alright, see you tomorrow.